Welcome. I'm Bernice Ross, the CEO and president of realestatecoach.com and Brokerage Up.
Hey guys, my name is Greg McDaniel. I'm one of the co-hosts of Real Estate Uncensored. It is a fantastic podcast, but Bernice and I are here. We are going to be doing another episode today of our show called Real Estate Coach Uncensored. Now, today we're going to be talking about pricing. Are you doing it wrong? Are you doing it right? And my guess is you're doing it wrong. Bernice, you wrote a phenomenal article and you went deep into kind of the $1 and the $100 pricing problems where agents, myself included, after doing it for nearly 20 years, have been doing it wrong. So walk me through a little bit where that mistake is that agents right now around the globe are making.
Well, Greg, you haven't been doing it wrong the entire time, because the thing that has changed what's going on here is that people are they are now doing mobile searches. So this just dates back to when when Zillow and Realtor.com came online, and then they had mobile apps where you couldn't plug in things as easily, so you're pointing and clicking.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to understand how most people are searching now online using an app. You need to understand how those apps work and then price your properties accordingly. So let me give you the setup on this. We were working with a client who had priced her property in Washington, D.C. at $599,000. And a property came on right next door to hers for $549,000. She's freaked out. New agent. She doesn't know. The experienced agents are saying, oh, you're overpriced. But her property is 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and it had parking. These houses were built in 1865. There is no parking there. It's all on the street. And the house next door was 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath with no parking. So the $50,000 was justified.
Yeah.
But was $599 the right price? And so that's something that, and I mean, most of us would price it at $595 or $599, right?
Yeah, that's what I would have probably priced at $599,999,999, just to get it right there for the visual effect of having the 5 there, but not kicking it up to the 600. That's what I would have done. And the look on your face is telling me I did it wrong. So tell me what I did wrong.
Well, no, I mean, that's the old way of pricing. But let's take a look at, first of all, I want to have a little discussion about pricing, because when, people get the objection, Zillow says my house is worth more. I see you've got your Zillow killer hat on today.
I do. I'm repping my buddy James's hat.
I love Zillow. They have created a lot of great things, and so has Realtor.com.
They have.
And the consumers love them. So, we have to make sure that our customer experiences matches, what's out there. But I'd like to show you another tool that I think personally is something that you can use to really be able to get your properties priced better. And you can use this on your listing presentations. And let me bring this up right now. So,
and by the way, just for the records, I have been playing with this source that you're going to bring up here, and it is phenomenal. It makes it stupid simple. So if you need to wear a helmet when you tie your shoelaces in the morning, this is your site. This is where you can go and get your pricing done. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Well, I've loved this since I first saw this a couple of years ago. Now, one note of warning on this: it doesn't work well in states like Texas, where they have non-disclosure. And what happens here, and there's over 10 states that have non-disclosure of sales prices. So if I sell my house, there's no public record, essentially. So that's an issue. But let's go ahead and take a look. So WeissAnalytics.com is the site. And the thing I want to show you, most realtors walk into a listing appointment and they have, what the MLS printout is. Yeah. Now take a look at this. So I can plug in, and this is a property that is in Los Angeles, but you can plug in, the property address, and it will tell you what the current valuation is. It will tell you what the predicted valuation is a year from now. So you've got both of these here. So one of the things that's cool about this, if you are working with, if they say, well, I think my house is worth more than that house you're pointing to as a comp, you can compare those two houses side by side using this.
Really? So you can take 123 Main Street and 456 Maple and put them right next to each other and say, look, these are the appreciations potentials, or this is where your current market valuations are?
Exactly. And this is the thing that's so powerful about this, Greg. I love this. And then you can look at, properties inspected to increase. This part of Los Angeles is regentrifying right now due to what's going on there with the new football stadium that's being built. So again, so the zip code's expected to increase. Los Angeles area, so you can see the different metrics here. You walk in with this says really professional, cutting edge. And the fact that and by the way, with this tool, you can actually choose your own comps. So you can put the comps in that you want. And if they say, oh, Zillow says my house is worth this, good, we'll put it in here. Or I have an appraisal that says this, good, we'll put that in here. But the thing that will get the listing for you is this. And what I'm going to bring up right now is they have a heat map that dates back to 2001. And what this does, this confirms whether the prices are going up or down. This is a part of West Los Angeles. And you'll see as this starts to play right now, we're in about 2000. See, it's clicking off here. So when it's green, this is a very strong market. And you can see the strong market leading up to 2006. Mm-hmm. And see when it starts to weaken because it'll start changing from green to red. You see this is very strong market here. See, now do you see it's getting lighter?
It is slightly, yeah.
Yeah, now watch what happens now. Okay, here's your transitioning market right there. That's the shift taking place. And then you see what's coming. There you go, in 2008. West Los Angeles went into, the prices are declining at this point. So the green prices are increasing. When it gets to that kind of neutral color, they're stable, but they're still, declines, trying to come back. And then you see the market climbing back out in 2012, becoming strong again. And now, we'll watch it going forward. Yeah, again, very strong. But as we approach our date today, you can see it started getting a little bit weaker in 2016.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Still increasing, not as much though. And then look at this. You're starting to see a transition, which can be, this November, now we're in December 2018. It's, you're looking at, then they give you the prediction going forward. It looks like this stuff is around Century City. These are very high demand properties. They are in a transitioning market, which may be the prelude to prices dropping.
Yeah, that is a fascinating little tool right there. Now, is this something that would talk someone out of selling though?
No, what would happen is this is why if you're looking at your property, the prices are starting to go down. That means you need to price it. You've missed the top of the market. You need to price those properties now where they will actually, you're going to get your maximum price right now. Get it on the market, price it right. Don't end up chasing the market down.
That's actually a fascinating thing because you can say, look, the market's shifting. We need to make an adjustment. Like we can't get, king of the hill pricing anymore. This is where we need to be if you're going to make a move. This is the projections of X, Y, and Z percentage in the next 12 months. So we got to get ahead of this downfall, start making proactive movements. But it's also a great way if it's going to stay steady and strong and green in that area, then you can give them the permission to potentially price it aggressively and really go for the king of the hill pricing because of the justification of equity growth for the future buyers willing to pay a higher price now or a more aggressive price. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely spot on, Greg. Now, let's go now. So let's talk about the pricing mistakes. So what I did is I searched homes in Austin where I live, and I just took the top 10 that were the most recent listings. And looking at this list, we had the following prices: 400, 524, 999. You can see here about 1,095,000, 1.775, 499.99, 329.9. So you can see how agents are pricing their properties.
Right. Pretty standard.
So I want to ask the people who are watching this, okay, where are the pricing mistakes here?
I know, because I've already talked to you about this.
You already talked. Okay. Where are the pricing mistakes, Greg?
You know what? The pricing mistakes are going to be at the 524,999. They're going to be at the 529,900. Those are the two we really could look at, or the 574,900. Now, I'm going to ask Bernice, which one's the dollar mistake? Which one's the $100 mistake? I mean, pretty sure that's obvious now at this point, but I want to get your opinion.
Yeah, well, of course, there are two of them that made the dollar mistake, 524,999 and 499.99. And these are particularly bad mistakes. And I'm going to show you why here in just a moment. Because of the way, again, as we mentioned before, because of the way people search online, using their mobile devices, the mobile devices have the prices are broken down. So this is what Realtor.com and Zillow does. So up to $250,000, you search in $10,000 increments. So from 240 to 250, 230 to 240. So if you have a house, say that's worth maybe 227, you probably ought to be pricing it closer to 220 than to 230 because you want that range from 220 to 230. Now above 250, up to 1 million, it goes in $25,000 increments. So if we look back at that last screen, okay, this one was really bad because it missed 525,000 by $1 because 525,000 straddles 500 to 525, 525 to 550. So,
Gosh.
Yeah, and then the same thing, look at here at 499.99. Well, that it misses going 475 to 525. So you're missing the 500 to 525 buyers if you're at 499.99. So that's the $1 pricing mistake.
Well, here's a question for you. And when it comes to this, one, I understand the pricing differences on the apps, but this could also be a phenomenal strategy to explain it to the sellers if you want to get more people in the house. Like, hey, I know your home is worth $550, but I want to price it at $525, and here's my reason why, so that the people searching, we will land smack dab in the middle. So if they're going to start on the low and go to the high, you can justify it a little bit on that.
Well, I'd be looking at the comps, and again, I'd probably get it. Say I have something that's between 525 and 550. I'll probably want to go to that lower price with the idea of if the market's going down, I don't want to chase the market down, and if the market's strong, somebody's going to bid it up anyway in a multiple offer. Mm-hmm. Now, there is a slight change when you get above $1 million. I know you're in California. They up to above 1 million, it's $100,000 increments for Realtor.com. At Zillow, this is interesting. They go from 1 million to 1,250,000 to 1,500,000.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised at that because they changed this. Realtor.com is pricing 100,000. I was surprised at that. Now, Zillow does have a slider. So that means you can adjust the prices, but even so, most people are searching using those pre-established numbers that
price points,
these companies have put in there.
It's interesting because before we got on to shoot this, I got a text message from my girlfriend. She and I were looking, we love looking at houses. I mean, I've been an agent for 20 years. It's in my blood. It's in my DNA. It's like baked into me like a cake. And she sent me this listing in San Francisco. She's like, hey, check this house out. And it was, I looked at it, and she was on Realtor.com, and look, I looked at the pricing scales, and you just did the slide. That's all you did. So does the average consumer, are they aware of this? Is the average agent aware of this? They're just used to the old psychological, use of $399,999 because all you see is a 3, and the 9s are really irrelevant because you think you're getting it for $300,000, not $400,000 for a round number.
Well,
right?
All you have to do is look at, out of those 10 properties that I pulled, 90% of them were priced wrong. They're using the old method, and nobody has trained people on this. So this is a huge takeaway. I first wrote this article several years ago, and Emin ran with it again about 3 weeks ago, and it shot right back to the top, and it sat on top.
It should. This is something that is so small, but yet so important in regards to the way that we price our properties, how we interact with our clients, how we get more eyeballs onto the properties in a shorter amount of time versus just being just outside that window where the consumers would be viewing you. But if you're at $399.99 and someone wants to buy from $400 to $600, they're never going to see your house. And that never dawned on me. It's just,
well, and again, we're not accustomed to thinking about how people search online because nobody's trained us to do it. You're aware of it if you do it, but it's like putting the pieces together and then explaining it to the seller as a pricing strategy so that they can understand.
Well, I think with like the slide that you made and showing them that this is what's going on in the area, this is how the common search is, having them get their phone out and say, let's go to realtor.com together and let's search for a property. See how this works, how the people are viewing this. We don't want to fall in that category and being left behind. It's just education. It comes down just like education, like anything else. And I think that's a phenomenal article. No wonder you're such a successful writer. No wonder. Every time I do a show with you, you're always thinking like, oh, I'm doing a pretty good job at this whole like real estate gang. Then you come along and you're like, no, Greg. Oh, you poor little kid.
No.
You got to get a gig.
I've been blessed to learn from a lot of the best people in the business. So, that's the thing that's fun when I'm very fortunate that I get a chance to work with a lot of people who are very good, and you're one of them at what they do. And that's one of the things that I just love. So Greg, any final takeaways from today?
Yes, a couple of things that I would probably take away from this is revisit your pricing game, kind of how you're structuring it. Two, take a look at the analytic tools that are available that it will help make your life easier, make you stand above the crowd, like the Weiss Analytics, because you can plug in the Zillow, the Redfin, the Realtor.com. You can plug in all those, and they all come into that same graph, so everyone's looking at each other the exact same way. You can do your own comps, and that's a slick looking presentation right there. And I used to show up with all the MLS printouts as well. I hated doing that. Like viscerally hated doing that. And so, yeah, just always be a student of your industry. Be aggressively trying to learn what the technology is, read the articles over at Inman, especially by Bernice Ross, and be able to just dive deeper into how you can make that next move to get that one extra listing a year. So that's my takeaways.
Well, Greg, that was a great wrap up. I want to thank our viewers for being with us today. I'm Bernice Ross, the CEO and president of realestatecoach.com and Brokerage Up. And Greg?
My name is Greg McDaniel, as always. I'm the co-host of Real Estate Uncensored. Go to iTunes or Stitcher. You can download it there if you want a little more uncensored podcast training. All right, guys, Bernice and I will see you on the next show.